Welcome back. My name is Lauren and this is Purpose Filled You, where we focus on planning, goal setting, and personal development. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through my annual review process. Every year in December, I have a tradition of taking some time to sit down and review the previous year. This is a great way for me to be able to review what happened the previous year and see my accomplishments and see the things that I did well, the things I did not so well, and I can use all of that information when I go to start setting my goals for the upcoming year. Now, this process can take as long or as short as you want. Sometimes I can do this in just over an hour, but ideally what is perfect for me is being able to take an entire day off where I can relax and shut out the world and review an entire year. That's a lot of time, reviewing an entire year. So you want to really dedicate as much time as you can to this process, because by doing this, you are able to review the entire 365 days you just experienced and use all of that information to help you plan the most successful version of the upcoming year as possible. Before I actually start the review process, the first thing that I like to do is take out every single planner and notebook that I've used from the previous year and lay it out and go through every single page. Just really quickly, like a breeze through, but this gives me kind of a sense of how the year felt. Sometimes it can be really easy to forget how I was feeling back in February. That was just so long ago. I don't remember what I was thinking or what I was feeling or doing or any of that. But by going through my planners, I'm able to remember exactly what I was feeling and what I was going through. And that way, once I start my review process, I've got a good feel for how the entire year went as a whole. Then once I've done that, it's time for the reviewing process to begin. The first thing that I do after going through my planners is I rate my year on a scale of 1 to 10. You can also give yourself a letter grade if that makes more sense to you, but the concept of this is just so that you can get a feel for the year as a whole, how you felt it went. That way, for the rest of the reviewing process, you know kind of in general what the overall grade of your year was. The second thing that I like to do is I make a list of the best moments of that year. This one's really super fun because it can be easy to forget the memories. They can just kind of get lost in the shuffle. So by having this list, you can remind yourself that no matter what that letter grade was, if it was a bad one or if it was a good one, that regardless of that grade, good things did happen and good things will happen in the future. Every year has good moments in it. And so it's important to remember them, the big ones and the little ones. Make a list of all the best moments you had in 2019. The next question that I ask myself is what went well? This for you might be what goals did you totally crush? What bad habits did you finally overcome? Or what good habits did you finally establish in your life? Anything that you feel like in the last year you really did a good job on and you want to acknowledge the accomplishment that you made, write all those things down. The fourth question that I ask myself is more of a constructive question, and that is, what would I do differently? Or what didn't go well? For me, I like the wording of the first way better because what didn't go well can be so negative, whereas what would I do differently is much more of a constructive criticism way of approaching the same exact idea. That way I can go back and see what should I have made a priority that I didn't, what did I neglect that I shouldn't have, what would I do differently if I could go back and do it all over again. That way you can take all of the things that you've written down in this section and use them to make sure that next year you don't neglect the same areas, that you make those things a priority, and that you can work towards those things in 2020. Question number 5 is one that I really enjoy, and it is, how am I different from last year? In an ideal world, we are all constantly growing, constantly evolving, and constantly becoming better versions of ourselves. And sometimes change is uncomfortable and it's kind of scary to realize that you are changing as a person. So by creating this list of ways that you are different from last year can help you build confidence in the fact that you are a different person, and that's okay. It's good to change and grow and become a little bit different. And so you can build confidence in yourself in knowing that this is who you are and this is who you are becoming. The last self-reflection question that I have for myself is, what are the 3 lessons that I learned last year? Lessons learned can be these little nuggets of knowledge that are just so valuable, and They can be something that you can digest and internalize yourself, and also be able to share with other people, because the lessons that we learn are things that we can also help teach other people. That's how we learn the lessons in the first place, is from somebody else usually, or an experience that we had. The very final thing that I do in my yearly review is I review all of my goals from 2019. The best way to do this process is by looking over the lists of goals that you have for your annual goals, your quarterly goals, and your monthly goals, and giving all of them a percentage grade. By way of example, I accomplished 56% of my annual goals, 84% of my quarter one goals, and then I got pregnant, and accomplished 7% of my quarter two, hello morning sickness, 26% of quarter three, and we're still currently in quarter four. And I'm very hopeful that I can knock out a few goals before it ends. So that is a realistic example of what my year and my quarters were broken down into. So for you, in an ideal world, you will want to accomplish at least 80% of your goals for any given list of goals. If you accomplish 100% of your goals, that's awesome, but you might want to ask yourself, why did you accomplish all of them? Were they maybe too easy? Do you need to push yourself a little bit harder? And the flip side of that is, if you accomplish less than 70% of your goals and you get lower than a C for your letter grade, you might want to ask yourself, why did that happen? Why did you neglect certain goals? How can you make a different choice in the coming year or quarter, whatever that list of goals is? What can you do differently to make sure that you are more successful? Those are the 7 steps that I use to review my previous year. And now it is time for me to set up my goals for next year. And guys, this is like my favorite time of the year, is setting up annual goals, because it is a fresh start. It is a new year. It is a new theme, a goal, a plan, all my favorite things. So hit that subscribe button, look for that video next week. We are going to walk you through exactly how to set your annual goals. And until next time, know that I am proud of you. You are doing an excellent job, and we will see you in the next video.